Get ready, Apple fans. iPad Focus is back with a rapid-fire rundown of the hottest news. We're diving deep into how Vermont apple orchards are facing a massive 50% crop loss due to unusual weather patterns, from a soaked spring to a bone-dry summer. Then, we're heading to the Santa Cruz County Fair for a behind-the-scenes look at the intense apple pie contest and crown the sweet victory of Janice Weaver. We'll also check in with Pike Lake Elementary students who are tasting the fruits of their labor with fresh apple juice from their very own orchard. And finally, a surprising announcement from Down Under. The Apple store at Westfield Hornsby near Sydney is permanently closing its doors next month. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Vermont's apple season is facing a bitter harvest, with orchards reporting a staggering 50% crop loss. This season's yield has been devastated by a double whammy of extreme weather: an unseasonably wet spring that hampered pollination, followed by a severe drought. Dean Miller of Cortland Hill Orchard in Brattleboro, a farmer with over 60 years of experience, has seen his lightest crop yet, attributing the issue to endless May rains that kept bees away from blossoming apple trees. Similarly, Craig Hebert at Rudy's Apple Orchard in Newport is facing drought conditions, leaving him with only half his usual fruit for his UPIC operation just days before his scheduled opening. State climatologist Leslie Ann Dupigny-Giroux points to a complex drought situation: a flash drought combined with a longer-term hydrological drought, leaving groundwater and soil moisture critically low across the state. Despite the grim outlook for early varieties like Macintosh, some growers like Lori Wyman of Hunger Mountain Orchard and Greg Burt of Burt's Apple Orchard are seeing promise in their later apple crops, hoping that sunny days and cool nights will help them ripen. The agricultural community is closely watching the long-term impacts of these increasingly volatile weather patterns. But before we see how those late apples turn out, there's a different kind of apple competition that's got everyone talking. Get ready to taste the best as we go behind the scenes of a fiercely judged apple pie contest. The quest for the perfect apple pie reached its peak at the 48th Annual Santa Cruz County Fair, where culinary artistry and personal history were on full display. As a first-time judge, Lookout reporter Lily Belly experienced the intricate process of evaluating over 30 entries, each scrutinized for appearance, texture, and taste, revealing the deep complexity behind what seems like a simple dessert. The contest, held in a quiet pavilion away from the fair's main attractions, featured nearly 50 entries across masters, adult, and youth categories. Judges like Belly, alongside wine expert Kyle Thuriot and Driscoll's representative Maria Vasquez, meticulously scored each pie on criteria including crust color and shape, filling consistency, and overall flavor balance, with a perfect score of 100 points. Belly noted the crucial balance of buttery, flaky crusts and perfectly spiced, tender apple fillings, cautioning against overpowering spices like clove and emphasizing the importance of salt. The coveted Best in Show title was awarded to Janice Weaver, a seasoned baker who has won multiple times, for her exquisite pie featuring a flaky, buttery crust and a secret blend of apples sourced from organic grower Larry Kaufman. Weaver's dedication to practice and technique, inspired by her grandmother, highlights the passion and tradition poured into every homemade pie. From winning pies to growing them, our next story brings the orchard experience directly to the classroom. Get ready for a sweet success story from Pike Lake Elementary. Pike Lake Elementary students are getting a hands-on taste of fall harvest, thanks to their very own school orchard. This marks the first year the school has organized a comprehensive orchard event, allowing students to actively participate in collecting apples. The real excitement came when these freshly gathered apples were transformed into delicious, freshly pressed juice right before their eyes, with the help of dedicated staff and a community volunteer. Principal Mark Hughes facilitated the process by connecting with a friend who provided the necessary pressing equipment, turning a simple harvest into an educational and enjoyable experience for the young learners. This initiative not only teaches students about agriculture and where their food comes from, but also fosters a sense of community and accomplishment as they enjoy the fruits of their collective labor. The fresh apple juice serves as a tangible reward for their participation and a memorable lesson in sustainability and teamwork. Speaking of apples and operations, we're shifting gears to a surprising development in the world of retail. Get ready for some unexpected news from the Apple Store Down Under. In a surprising move, Apple has announced the permanent closure of its store located at the Westfield Hornsby shopping mall, a suburb of Sydney, Australia. The store, which first opened its doors in 2011, is set to close permanently on October 4th. Apple stated that the decision was made due to the non-renewal of their lease. This closure affects local retail employees, who will be offered positions at Apple's nearby store in Chatswood Chase, which is scheduled for a significant reopening in October. This Hornsby location is one of several Apple retail outlets that have seen closures in 2025. Though the company has simultaneously expanded its global presence with new stores opening in various international locations throughout the year, including a recent announcement for a new store in downtown Detroit. This strategic move by Apple highlights ongoing shifts in their retail footprint, balancing closures with new openings and relocations to optimize customer access and experience across key markets. And that wraps up our news roundup for today. But don't go anywhere yet. What a rundown! Vermont apple growers are battling a 50% crop loss from crazy weather. Janice Weaver took home the top prize at the Santa Cruz County Fair's Epic Apple Pie Contest. Pike Lake Elementary students are enjoying fresh juice from their own school orchard. And the Apple store at Westfield Hornsby near Sydney is closing its doors for good next month. Thanks for tuning into iPad Focus. If you loved this update, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Follow us on all our socials too, and let us know in the comments which story you found most interesting. See you next time.